Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. We are actually offering the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, and the guests coming in are business or charities, and I'm very excited to be with you. Also, you'll be able to get a hold of these people because we're going to give you their information. First up, which I'm very, very excited, happens to be, and I know this is a mouthful, let's see how good I can do this. We have Taylor Adams and Terri.Balliet. Taylor is with the Art Galleries, and Terry, you're with the Gulf Coast JFCS.
There you go, perfect.
You can say what that is.
Gulf Coast Jewish Family and Community Services.
Okay, very good. Now that we have that out of the way, we've been having a lovely conversation. You two are doing God's work in this community, just as simple as that. I don't know who wants to go first because I know you both have a lot to say. Taylor, you are actually the support specialist with the Art Galleries. Terry, you're the COO, and that tells me that you know a lot about a lot when it comes to this. When did you get started with this?
With the agency, I've been with Gulf Coast for just over 16 years and been in this role for 7 years.
Oh, that's all.
That's all.
So I think you know what's going on in the community. And you, my dear, how long have you been with the Art Galleries?
With the Art Gallery about a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let's talk about how the two of you came together and what this program is all about, because from the sounds of it, it is very much needed in the community, and you're really giving back in a magnificent way.
Right. Well, Barbara, I can tell you that the Art Gallery started throughout the United States 20 years ago, maybe 21 years ago at this point. And there are several chapters throughout the U.S. And Pinellas and Pasco County happen to have one of the chapters.
Cool.
We're so lucky to be able to have that. And so in 2019, the Art Gallery reached out to Gulf Coast JFCS and said, hey, would you all be interested in acquiring our small but mighty agency? And we said, absolutely, because it fits within our wheelhouse as to what we do within Gulf Coast.
Yes, yes. And so I'm going to switch over to you, my dear. How do you fit? Let's talk about what you're doing to make that fit perfect.
Yeah, so the Art Gallery has been in existence with the Pinellas and Pasco since 2006, I believe. And once, I think I came on to the Art Gallery right as the merge was happening with Gulf Coast, and it's pretty seamless, honestly. Like everything fits really well.
That's fabulous. So the services that you both do are very complementary to one another. Let's talk about foster children. I was just telling the girls here that I was up, I'm always up early, 4:30 in the morning, and I do my devotionals and I listen to Joy FM, and they were talking about foster children, and the hosts had been foster children and became foster parents. And I had quite a big picture in my mind on what happens to these children that are fostered and sometimes have to go from one family to the next, and how they just drag a garbage bag full of their owned items, including their little stuffed bear, and I'm just sitting there bawling my eyes out. I had no idea because I've never really had to think about that myself. Can you expand on that and a little bit on the whole mental health picture and all of that?
Sure. So the numbers are astounding. The number of kids that are in the child welfare system, over 30,000 kids are in the child welfare system just within Florida alone. And over 22,000 of those kids are in an out-of-home placement, which means that they could be residing or living with a relative, a non-relative, or in a foster home. And really, the Art Gallery steps in when we know that a child is available for adoption. Within the state of Florida alone, there's nearly 6,000 kids with the goal of adoption. And so what that means for the Art Gallery is that it is our job to recruit forever families for those kids that may never have a parent moving forward. And so that's a heavy lift. But we're committed to doing exactly that. just within the Heart Gallery within Gulf Coast, which is Heart Gallery is a program now of Gulf Coast, like I said, since 2019. We've been able to find forever homes for over 400 kids.
Wonderful.
That's a lot. So
Yeah.
400 kids we've been able to find forever families for, and it has just been an amazing, and I will tell you, Taylor can speak to this better than I, but I will tell you that just being a part of that process
Yes.
and that
Yes.
connection and being in the courtroom when the judge, finalizes that and the tears, the emotion, if you're a part of that, you've done something right when you've been able to see that transition happen and that finalization, and even more so when you still have contact with that family after the adoption takes place.
Oh wow, that's chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
I think that is absolutely fabulous. Be able to be part of the placement of these children, and I
Yeah.
know it's probably very bittersweet for you. Is this something that you knew you wanted to do a long time ago? What got you involved in the beginning, besides a good heart?
When I ask for others to tell me their story, typically some will share this outlandish story about how it is that they became involved, and I don't know that I really have that, which is fine with me, because I think that me being in this field has organically happened.
Love
and
it.
so
Yes.
when I attempted to step out of this work, it brought me right back. And so there's something to be said for that. But I want to go back to your question, or your statement around, kids that move from place to place. We are in such desperate need of foster parents. We need foster parents across the state. We need foster parents. We have such great foster parents, but we need more. When we don't have foster parents, then we have kids that are moving from home to home and they don't have a stable placement. I think that we've probably gotten past the point now where kids are no longer transporting their items in garbage bags. I think that there was a big, huge push for duffel bags and suitcases. There was so much outpour.
We did that in the community everywhere. All the
Yes.
chambers.
All the time.
Yes.
All the chambers, and so
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
So I think that we've gotten past that point, but it's still, regardless, it's still heart-wrenching to know that a child doesn't have a stable placement to go to, and they are moving from home to home to home, and that's problematic. And again, we need more foster parents.
Okay, so how can we get that message out? Watching My Chamber TV, and they can get a hold of you. What can you give me? Oh my goodness, we're down to just 2 minutes and a few seconds here. How quickly can you say, get a hold of you?
Yes.
What's the process to start?
I can direct anybody that comes our way if they just want to reach out through our website, which is www.gulfcoast-Jewish-Family-and-Community-Services.org, or contact us at 727-479-1800, and I will make sure I can kind of direct traffic, if you will.
Oh, that is so great. And in this last under 2 minutes, what would you like to say in closing?
I would just like to mention that any support is good support, really. Like, there's so many good ways that you can help foster kids and adoptive kids. We have a lot of places in the community that already help us with that. Great Explorations, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, yes.
We have a lot of support from them. They have a home run club suite that we're able to bring in foster children and adoptive children to just, have a night out and just things like that. There's also donating and really just being there for these foster kids as much as you can.
Just real quickly, we have a little over a minute. Can a foster parent, if you have like emergencies where you need somewhere for the kids to go for maybe a short interim, do you have that as well? Almost like a part-time foster parent? I'm just curious because I have some people in mind.
Yes, that is a great question, and I would love to be able to have additional offline conversations about that because there's always a way to help. So we will figure it out. If you come forward and you want to help, we will find a way for you to do exactly that.
Exactly.
Do I dare ask the question, how young? What's the youngest
The youngest,
foster child?
we have foster children up until the age of 18
And how young? Younger
at
than
birth.
that?
At birth,
Yeah.
birth to 18.
Okay, that's the answer to my question, which raising the awareness here. If you are wondering what you would like to do in your retirement, if you have a good heart and you want to reach out and reach back into the community, get a hold of these gals because I think it is going to be rewarding for you, for the foster kids, and for this organization. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, hope to have you back.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back. Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV with the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community, and today we're featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, and I'm very thrilled to have, back by popular demand, my dear friend Barbara Doeringer, broker owner of Whippet Properties. And I just, your name, of course we have a little something in common, but
Right.
Whippet Properties is just so cool. I want you to talk about that just briefly on why did you name it Whippet Properties? Because right away I see the dog.
I know. Well, we're dog lovers, first of all. We have a little Yorkie Poo, and we didn't think Yorkie Poo Realty was going to make it. So my friend who has 2 Whippet dogs, we were in their living room and trying to discuss what would be a really good name that would be catchy, that we could do a really cute logo with, and go with Devo's song, Whippet Good, and, have some really good marketing ideas. And Whippet Properties was born.
I love it. I love it. You're Whippet. You whip
We
it
whip
into
it-
shape.
we whip it
Whip
good.
it good.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do.
So we have some serious stuff to talk about today because we had we could still be yakking on our own because you are stepping out of the box. You've had you've been into real estate how many years?
23.
Okay, 23 years. The market's changing a little bit here.
For sure.
And, so everybody's looking at doing business differently. It doesn't matter what industry we are in.
That's right.
We've gone to the Zoom, we've done this, we've done that, but you are really stepping out of the box. You've gotten a certification. You have a book here called You're the Probate Personal Representative, Now What? Tell me about this. What is this all about? Because I'm taking this home with me.
I tried to find a personal niche. I've done senior communities, I've done vacation home communities. Everybody's trying to find a niche where they can get some business because of the way the market is. So to concentrate on a certain area, it gives you a little more leverage. And I decided that probate realty, even though it takes more time sometimes to get the business, because probate takes months sometimes to get finalized. But anyway, I took the course in probate certification in January and decided that I was going to try and work with probate attorneys. I've already contacted a few of them, and I really honestly can't say that I've gotten any business yet, but having worked in senior communities, it works a lot the same because we've had to work with families that a loved one has passed away or their parents have passed away, and now they need their home cleared out. They need to know, what do I do with the furnishings? What do I do with the personal items? And this book is so well written. I can't take credit for the book itself. The actual instructor wrote the book, but she allowed anyone who took the course to customize it to make it look like it's my book. So there's a lot of valuable information in here for an executor or a personal representative who doesn't have a clue where to begin when they inherit this property and have to find out, how to sell it and how to rid of the personal the personal items. Actually, there's a lot in here that's helpful. It's should I go with an investor or should I list with a realtor? What kind of repairs do they need to make? Do they need to hire a painter, a carpenter, a roofer? There's all kinds of things they need to know there. What do they know about taxes? How do they handle the taxes? Just a lot of information here that's very valuable.
Well, this is a go-to book for the average homeowner that doesn't realize what they don't know in real estate or what they
Right.
think they know that is incorrect.
Exactly.
And having had my license for almost 40 years, even though I'm not active right now out into the community, let me tell you, I've seen a lot of people, I mean, family, friends, neighbors, where some of the simplest things, they just don't understand that.
No.
And you must have representation. Don't try to do it yourself. You're just going to
Exactly.
put so much stress on you. But what I love what you're doing, and I want to spend as much time as we can before this segment is finished, you've stepped out of the box once again, and you have this wonderful flyer here,
Right.
and it's all about you're recruiting for agents, and I want you to tell why, because we've had some challenges out there in the marketplace with agents and no
Yes.
homes to sell and things
No.
like that. What is so different about this new group that you're starting and how it can empower
Okay.
new agents joining Whippet Properties?
Okay, I joined a networking group called Power Gals in the area, and I met a couple people that were struggling in their businesses just like I am, because a lot of small businesses, as we know, are struggling. And we decided that maybe the word competition isn't as important as the word collaboration. So we decided to get our heads together, and it was my idea to come up with a logo and a name. And because I'm working with two Tinas, I decided, well, we put a Tina, a Barbara, and a Tina, and we come up with Tampa's Bodacious Team.
I love this.
Okay. And of course, bodacious can mean, excellent, intelligent, reliable, all of these things. So we wanted to have that word in there.
I love it.
And it stands out as something different. And what I'm doing is working with one Tina, who is the mortgage broker of Lincoln Lending Group. And then, of course, my real estate company, Whippet Properties, that's the Barbara. And then the second Tina is the wife of a law firm. Her husband runs a law firm, and they do estate planning and probate and wills and VA benefits and all kinds of things that really do tie into real estate in a lot of ways.
Sure.
So we're trying to advertise and market together now, and we're going to do some seminars that will be helpful and give a lot of information to people. We hope to do some podcasts in the near future and get the information out that we are empowering our clients through this collaboration of services. And our little mission statement is that we are helping families and changing lives one story at a time.
I just love this, and we talked about this before. We're going to stay connected, having been in the real estate business for so many years with both of us. But I do want to, we have 3 minutes, well, just under 4 minutes to go. Would you like me to talk about what you are offering
Yes.
agents in case you know of a real estate agent that is singing the blues today, or maybe they're ready to make a change, maybe they're afraid to because there's not enough being offered to agents out there, or maybe they want to stay with a particular brokerage, which
Right.
is fine for whatever their reasons are. But I've had my license almost 40 years. This entire page is calling to me for what you're offering. So your website with staff-specific details and customer relationship management system, which is what we need in real estate, as well as pre-written ad campaigns to use by email, personal training and mentoring, no monthly fees, paid errors and omissions insurance, complimentary business cards, getting started with that, complimentary name badge, complimentary Whippet Properties colored shirt. So that's going to save on.
We do that for our vendor events.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And I do a lot of vendor events.
Wonderful. Complimentary lunches at monthly sales meetings. Here's really what will get you guys. Extensive marketing, newspaper, social media, sponsorship, vendor events, direct mailings, various networking groups, Chamber of Commerce, very, very important. Working Women of Tampa Bay, been there, done that.
Right.
Power Gals, which is where you went to the networking.
Exactly.
And charity events. Lead rotation and agents, free notary service for agents and customers, brochures, marketing materials, and giveaway items provided, rewards for sales, production, and meeting goals, guidance and creative ideas to develop a personal brand or slogan, and a fun group who not only works together but plays together too. This plus this plus this is a whole package that you are going to love, and plus you, my dear Barbara. I tell you, who doesn't want to work with somebody that isn't forward thinking, especially the last couple of
Right.
years and what it's looked like?
You have to be creative, and when things stop working the way they've been, you've got to take a different direction and find out what will work.
And you've done that. What is that saying? When you keep doing the same thing over and over,
You get the same results.
it's insanity. And I think the whole world is in a sort of a
Yes,
test case of
it
insanity.
is, it
So
is.
I really commend you for this.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about maybe doing you some podcasts up at our studio.
That'd be fabulous.
This is so perfect, and how you collaborated with people that are in the know. Imagine you can actually have everything right at your fingertips. It's almost like a one-stop shop. Oh, I'm thinking of making a change. Oh, let me try this. People are willing to try something new and different that's never been done before, wouldn't you say?
Exactly, and it's hard to compete with these large franchises
I
that the
know.
agents think they have to be with, but you can get so much more with a small company. And my husband and I had been with large franchises for many years, but when we went with a small company before I formed my own, we did so much better, and we were their only 2 agents.
See, isn't that interesting? It's a little more close-knit, like you
Right.
say. Well, I thank you for joining us today. We are going to continue on with My Chamber TV, but take a serious look at this. If you have a license and you need to dust it off in real estate, you have a lot of information here, a lot of helpers here, where you can be in one office with so much. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back into My Chamber TV. It is the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly. Thanks for joining us today. Well, I'll tell you, needless to say, we have had a lot of great business owners in our show today featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber. And I want you to listen up because back by popular demand is Darryl Stidham.
Stidham.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Okay, with iInsure, meaning you insure, you're the owner extraordinaire.
I am.
Right? So I just want to be quiet.
You want to be quiet?
I want to be quiet so that we were talking, we probably already did the segment just before this real segment.
We did.
So I know there's a lot of challenges out there with insurance. Many of us are over it, including myself, after having insurance with, where you're supposed to be in good hands with.
Yeah, that company? Big
No.
Blue?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what's different since we met last time? It's been a couple of years, 2020, right?
2020, we were sitting together talking about homeowners insurance and
Yes.
the impending crisis,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
the impending crisis is here. And just so you guys know, all of you homeowners, we as insurance agents hate what's going on just as much as you do. Insurance sucks, period. That's just what it is. Since we've last talked, we have lost 7 home insurance companies. They've completely gone insolvent. They've liquidated. They're out.
And tell them why.
Fraud. Flat out fraud. AM Best released an article a week ago. It was a week ago AM Best released an article. It's not hurricanes that are causing this issue. It is attorneys and fraudulent roofers. Those are the issues. I want to give you a statistic, Barbara. This is great. You ready for this?
I hate this.
Since 2017, $200 billion has been given out by insurance companies over home insurance litigation. 71% of that $200 billion has gone to attorneys. 8% has gone to the homeowner, and the remainder has been used by the insurance companies fighting those lawsuits. 71% of $200 billion has gone to attorneys over these suits.
I mean, you just make me speechless. So what are you doing today to help our homeowners and those of, I don't know anybody that doesn't have a story, and you don't want me to start with my story or we will be here all day. So what can you, how can you help us?
Really, the best way I can help you is to go through your policies. I can review your policies. Any insurance agent can review your policies, and I hope you find someone that you trust, because right now you're all looking for the same thing. You're all looking for lower rates. I want to help you with those lower rates, but there are certain coverages that are so important that they're not worth cutting. You know, there's certain coverages that you need to have, and there's certain deductible limits that you're going to be required by your mortgage company to have that maybe we can increase a little bit, but you don't want to increase too much because the savings aren't there. I'll give you an example. If you increase your hurricane deductible from a 2% to a 5% hurricane deductible, you may save $200 or $300, but your deductible is going to go from, let's say, $4,000 to over $9,000. It's not worth the savings, right?
Understood.
Right, makes sense. Water damage. Water damage is a big thing we're seeing. If you have an older home, you may have a limited water damage coverage of $10,000. You may have full water damage. I don't know. But if you have full water, keep it, because the number one claim in Florida for homeowners isn't roof, it's not hail, it's not wind, it's water damage. We have those copper pipes that give us pinhole leaks. They rupture, they leak. You don't find it for a couple weeks. All of a sudden there's a mess. How do we fix this? That water damage coverage is important for that reason. So if you have full water, keep it. Super, super important. Now, outside of that, we can look at, you know, other structures coverage. We can look at your contents coverage, things like that. But there's certain things we have to keep, certain things we have to get rid of. Of course, the best way to save money on insurance is, you know, get a new roof. But don't get a new roof if you file a claim to get a new roof. It's part of your maintenance of your being a homeowner, right? We have to replace our roofs every so often. And in Florida, that limits 15 to 20 years, right? So if your roof is 15 to 20 years old, go ahead and start looking to get that roof replaced. You're going to save thousands on your insurance over the life of that roof.
Yes, that's what we're working on right now. I just want to share this one thing without me losing my cool here. But we went through this thing where we had to get new homeowners insurance because of what you said, that our insurance company was leaving the area. Thank you very much for that. And then the next insurance company that came came out to look at our roof and said we needed a new roof, and it actually stated on there that they were standing on the ground. How do you look at a roof on top from being on the ground? They didn't have a drone.
So the drone would be the only way I would know, unless they're just looking from a visual up, right? But no.
Anyway, I got it resolved.
Right? Welcome to the world of insurance. It's awful. It sucks. I know. Look, I know insurance sucks. I'm here to help it. I want to make this process as easy as possible. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here, because we are all facing this crisis. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And so we're all here just trying to make the best of it.
I tell you, the stories are unconscionable, including my very own. I was able to get it resolved by getting someone reputable that came out, physically got on top of the roof, underneath and all of that, and said there's nothing wrong with your roof. Got it in writing. My insurance almost tripled.
Yeah.
That can put people out of their homes because you have to have it if you've got a mortgage.
You know, I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because over the past couple months, I've gotten at least 3 calls, and these are from senior citizens who have had their insurance rates double, triple, or they're getting non-renewed and they're having to find new insurance, and there's no place to put them because of the characteristics of their home, and they're crying because of that increase. they're looking at not being able to afford their home.
That's right.
Senior citizens cannot afford
Yes.
their homes anymore.
Yes.
Young adults can't afford their homes anymore. This is a crisis that we have not seen. People talk about the 07 to 08 insurance crisis in Florida. I'm talking to the agents that lived through that now, because it wasn't me, but the agents are there. It's worse now than it was then. We're going to see a mass exodus of carriers in the state. It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen until things get fixed.
I just don't know what to say anymore. I've just really said it, and it's affected me. It's affected anybody that you talk to has a story to tell about insurance,
Everybody.
real estate, all of it. So what's going to happen? Well, I say we go to our therapist and pray to the man upstairs, because that's the only thing that's going to make anything better.
What needs to happen is people need to call their state rep in Florida and in
That's
Tallahassee.
true. That's
you
true.
have to call the state rep.
Yeah.
You have to go and tell them to fix the attorney fees. That's the only thing that's going to make this
Yeah.
better. Unfortunately, most of them are attorneys. So getting
Mm-hmm.
an attorney to take away their livelihood is not the easiest task, right? But in the meantime, before they get involved in that, what I will tell you is this. If you need a review of your policy, if you think you're paying too much, which you probably are, but there's not much we can do about it, call me. Go to my website, fill a request form. I will contact you. We will go over your policy line by line. Have your wind mitigation inspection done. Have your 4-point inspection done. Have it ready to go so that when you need to shop, if you get that non-renewal, if you get that cancellation, we can come in and we can see what we can do to get you coverage.
It's for the average homeowner that doesn't know about wind mitigation and all of that.
Yes.
Tell them what that is real quick,
Yeah.
so they know, so they can go out and get it done, because it works.
Yeah, so a 4-point inspection is what makes your house eligible to insurance companies. It checks your HVAC, it checks your electrical, your plumbing, and your roof. Okay, that's eligibility. Now, the wind mitigation is the key part here. That's where your discounts come from.
Yes, yes.
We're checking to see if your roof is up to FBC standards as Florida Building Code, right? How your roof trusses are attached to the walls of your home, how your roof deck is attached to those trusses. Do you have peel and stick underlayment? Do you have hurricane resistant windows? All those things play a factor. Here's something else I will tell you. If you get a wind mitigation and you have clips, but you don't have like the normal hurricane clips they had in the 90s, you have a wrap over your truss from your wall. If you have clips, that means there's only 2 nails in that wrap. If you get the 3rd nail, you will get a discount for having single wraps as opposed to clips, and that's a significant difference
Yes.
in price.
Yes.
It costs about $900, or it used to. I'm not sure what the current price is, but that will save you thousands over time.
Oh, it would be worth it, definitely.
Absolutely.
And you know, somebody like yourself that is well appointed with your knowledge and everything, knowledge is power for people, and especially you think of senior citizens. I'm a senior citizen, and have we been taken advantage of? Absolutely. From auto insurance to homeowners insurance, it
Yeah,
goes on
it's
and on.
all bad.
But you are our knight in shining armor today.
I try to be. Like I said, insurance sucks. It's horrible. I don't necessarily like it myself, but I love the industry and I love helping people. And so my job here is to make sure that you have the right coverage, right price, and you understand what you're buying. You're paying me thousands of dollars for a document or a stack of papers, right? You should know what that means for you.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm here to do.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, this is so glad. I'm so glad. See, I'm so excited I can't even talk. Because we need this information on the airwaves. So I can't thank you enough for coming on the show today and coming back and updating everybody. So basically, if you're, we don't mean to, put fear into you. There's a solution for everything. There truly is. You just need to talk to the right people that are in the know. And when I see what my husband and I have gone through in the last couple of years with all this nonsense, it makes me just want to go live in a tiny home in the middle of the woods somewhere, because but then we'd have those.
But you won't save on insurance.
And then we won't save on insurance, exactly, and no electricity. Well, thank you very much, my friend. And thank you so much for joining us on My Chamber TV. Give this man a call. Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV. We're the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and we're featuring the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce with great guests. Everybody has something to share, including Mr. Kristopher Lucas with Careersource of Pinellas.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we did not have a pre-interview, so I can't wait to hear what you have to say in helping people with careers. Where do we get started?
Well, there's a lot of different angles that you can get started with us. We do serve the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and we're a member. So we work with a lot of the businesses here. We study what they need. Of course, recently we went through what they call the Great Resignation, which then became the Great Migration of people just moving to different businesses. And we help with that. We study their needs. We find out what it is, what struggles they have. And then we go explore what people need in society as well.
Sure.
And we bring the two of those together. So we're kind of the middle of the bookends.
Well, the middle of the bookends. I really like that. So what kind of positions? Give us an idea, because with our audience out there, they may need a position in their expertise and their professionalism.
Well, we can really do anything you like. For example, in this area, we have a lot of manufacturing. So we'll go to some manufacturers and find out what staffing needs they have. They may need like a CNC operator or something like that.
Okay.
And then we'll go out and we'll scout for individuals that either have those skill sets or people that want to go into training to get those skill sets. That's another niche that we have, is that we can put eligible people through training to build those skills and get them to careers that are higher in pay and more sustainable.
Now that is a nice bridge that I like to hear, because especially as we were just talking about it earlier, how people are looking for different ways to do business, correct?
Yes.
And part of that are skill sets. And I'm hearing more and more about various skill sets that are out there. So if you want to make a job change, you can do that. So walk me through an interview with you. And if I was thinking of making a career change or something, I mean, I'm a senior citizen, I'm 73. What do you have for me out there? Or is that a loaded question?
It's actually not a loaded question. There's a bunch of different things that we offer. So we can take somebody, for example, we have a youth program that's going to start this summer. It's called Summer Pays.
Good.
And this is our second year doing Summer Pays, where we take in-school youth in the Pinellas County area, and we pair them with local businesses that are looking to give youth that first experience, that first good experience of what working is like and earning money is like. We give them different workshops as well, so they have career preparedness and they have financial preparedness as well. So these youth are going to be earning money, and we want them to make sure that they know what to do with that money, not just maybe go spend it or things like that. So we will take youth and do those things. We also take people that are in the infancy of their careers, and we try to upskill them or bring them into trainings that might create a higher value for them in the business world. We also take people that are in the middle of their careers and say, hey, maybe they've been an executive for a while, but they just kind of learn the ropes as they go. And they say, well, you know what? I want to take it to that next level. Maybe they need to get an MBA. Maybe they need to go get a project management certificate. We can help with a lot of those different things. Also, there are people now that have lost their jobs in the past couple of years because of the pandemic, and they're looking to get into something new, maybe an industry change. So we will help facilitate that as well. On the senior side of things, we actually have a very unique niche there, because we have a whole team that works with seniors to try and get them into work, because some of them are on fixed incomes and they say, hey, if I earn too much money, what happens here? Well, we know the rules for that, and we know how to help them get back to work so they can sustain higher pay and not worry about whether that paycheck's going to come in from Social Security or whatever it is.
Well, that's excellent. Boy, you covered a lot right there. Two things that I want to hit on. Well, yes, we were just talking about the senior citizens may need to go back to work because they have to pay such a high price in their homeowners insurance. Okay, I'll just leave that alone there. But the other thing that you were talking about is helping to advance these skill sets with all age groups. And I love what you said about helping the youth, the in-school program, and you take them when they do earn their money and you show them what to do with it, so you're teaching them how to adult. Is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. You have that for seniors too? But I think this is really fabulous. How long have you been doing this?
I've actually been with Careersource Pinellas about 18 months. I'm one of those people that during the pandemic, I came from the automotive business. I spent over a decade there, and prior to that, over a decade in the telecom industry. And when COVID happened, I was affected, and I had to make a career leap. And I didn't lean on my local Careersource for that leap. They kind of found me. But if I could go back and do it again, I would lean on my local Careersource. There's 24 of them throughout the state of Florida. We happen to serve Pinellas. There's one here in the Tampa area as well, or Tampa. Tampa, and then there's Pasco Hernando. So any one of them, if you're wondering about what to do with your career, if you're in a career and you're saying, hey, maybe I should make that leap now, come see one of us. We'll point you in the right direction.
So what is a typical interview with someone? How do you hone in? I mean, I've had so many different careers, and somewhere similar to another, but then I started doing television, which is kind of a niche in itself. But how do you help guide them at all these different age groups?
Well, there's a lot of different things. We give them, there's some basic tests called a TABE test, which is a test for adult basic education. So that's one of our entry level ones, but we'll look at what they bring to the table, their education, how they test for us. We look at different aptitude tests. There's a ton of different things that we look at to really assess that individual, as well as what they want in life, because an aptitude test can say, hey, this is where you should be, but is that where you want to be?
Exactly.
And the two of those have to meet, otherwise it's not going to work out.
Yes, I totally understand that. We've had charities in the show, we always do, and you can always tell when somebody's following their heart and they're fulfilling, they've just stepped into their passion. And it may be sometimes the younger generation, it may be the senior generation, but you know when they're fulfilling their niche. Now, you said that you were in automotive?
Yep.
Okay. So were you in the sales?
All ends of it, sales, supply chain, logistics. I was fortunate enough to see all around the whole entire industry over my, I think, 11 or 12 years that I was there. So I got to see it all, but sales is really where I preferred to be because it was the closest to the customer.
Ah, I see. So how has this been going? I mean, with the COVID and all that, I would guess that to be able to call someone like yourself and find out whether, and people change, you know, you may start out in one industry, one expertise, and then all of a sudden, you've had a good or maybe not so good experience with it, and you go, I'm done with it. I am ready for a change, and the change is going to happen right now, and they call Kristopher. You get that?
Yes, they'll call me, one of my team members, and yeah, we do. We get a lot of people that say, I just don't know what to do right now, and kind of like your last guest you had on talking about insurance, it's good to start that dialogue, have somebody that can help you go down that path, and that's what we're here for.
I think that is so great. That's great. And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been with Careersource Pinellas for about 18 months now.
And it's been working very well. And,
yes, ma'am.
And okay, so that's awesome. So what would you say for somebody that is, to give you a call, sit down, you start a conversation over the phone, and what is the placement? And we're not going to hold you to anything, but what does it look like as far as placing? Because what I'm hearing is, number one, we know how important it is to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. All right, and that's what you're doing. How long have you been with this company since you started and joined?
Yeah, I started as one of our director in talent and business development. And about 6 months ago, I moved to COO. But I've been able to build a team around me that is larger than what we came in with, because we too shrunk when the pandemic came.
Yeah, because nobody could go anywhere.
Yeah, our business services team was down to one individual, and now we have just grown them to over 15 individuals. And those are the folks that go out to the businesses, find out what they want. They're the ones that put on the career fairs. We had a very big one up here in Oldsmar last year for the veterans, and we're about to put another one on again with Gus Bilarakis' office.
When is that going to be?
I think this one is going to be in about 2 months. They haven't put it on the schedule yet, but it's coming.
We have to have you come back and
Definitely.
talk about that. We love the veterans. But the fact that there are so many business owners, including manufacturers with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, this gives you just like an open book, really.
It does.
I don't think you can't possibly run out of people to place for, right, with businesses?
In this area, believe it or not, a lot of people may not know that there's so many businesses in Oldsmar. This is one of the busiest chambers for us.
Yeah.
We're a member of tons of different chambers because we serve an entire county, but this one keeps us the busiest, and it's probably, not to play favorites, but one of the most fun.
Well, you got to have fun. I think we've all learned that over the last couple of years. The more fun we have, it makes life a little bit sweeter.
Oh, yeah.
So what would you say to somebody, your final couple of words here, because we have about a minute and a few seconds, for somebody that's just wringing their hands and they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go. This is a lot. And then you also have the baby boomers and those of us that are not technology inclined, with computers and all this software and this and that. What would you say to them? Can they get retrained?
They can. Anybody can.
Awesome.
I would say visit our website. We just got through overhauling our website, so it's pretty easy to read, very robust. Worst case scenario, if you're not the technologically inclined and you can't find the website, just pick up the phone, give us a shout, and we'll point you in the right direction.
Because I think today, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that today you have got to know technology because it changes on a daily basis.
Yes, yes,
So-
and we can help with a lot of those things. We're going in partnership with SPC on one of our grants that is for low-income returning adult learners. It takes adults in low-income areas and gets them rapid credentialing in technology, so folks can go back to work making $20+ an hour in the technology field, which Tampa Bay is becoming a big hub for.
Really? Just by getting retrained?
Yep.
You can get them retrained in a short amount of time?
Yep.
Like how short?
Anywhere 2, 3 to 6 months. This is an initiative that our governor put in place for apprenticeships, and apprenticeships can be not the traditional 4 years that people thought of in the past, but apprenticeships can be something as little as about 2 or 3 months to get you some basic credentialing, and then we can build from there.
I love this. We could do a whole show on all of what you're about. Oh, we're out of time. Thank you so much. And if you want to check it out, get a hold of Kristopher. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. We are offering up the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and we're right here at Tampa Bay Brewing Company.
That's right.
We are back by popular demand here,
Oh,
Trey.
yeah. You can't help but come back in here.
I know, and we're all ready to party here. Let's see, what time is it?
I think it's 5.
So we have you, Trey Chapman, you're director of marketing,
right.
and you're like the main squeeze here in getting the word out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered when we came here before because it's such a cool place. You have so much to offer. But if you could give us a little bit of history on what the brewing company is all about. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. What makes you different?
One of the coolest things about TBBC is our experience and our history. We opened up in '97. It's when we opened our doors and served our first beers out of our location in Ybor City. And back then the craft beer model, in Florida specifically, it was more of this brew pub model that you'd see. So we kind of started off as a English style brew pub with American fare, big hearty portions, everything over the top. Our beers over the top, foods over the top. And over time, you saw craft breweries start to grow and really pop up in Tampa.
Yes.
We had a big craft beer boom, kind of in the early 2010s, 2015s especially. Breweries like Cigar City started opening up, and the people could see that there was a real need for just craft beer in this state, and particularly in this city. And so over time, we've kind of grown and adapted, and really the biggest thing that we try to do is make beer that fits the Florida lifestyle.
Okay, very good.
So all of our beers, we want them to be super approachable. We want them to be drank easily on a boat or on the beach, by the pool, mowing the lawn. But you can also take them inside and enjoy them, at night if you want something a little sweeter or a little higher ABV, like a nightcap kind of thing. We've got basically anything for any situation in Florida.
So you're still doing over the top, and so I want you to define what is super approachable. What does that mean? I'm not a beer drinker, but I've tasted this and it's lovely.
So I'd say there's kind of two main things to that. One is just the approachability of the beer itself. Having a wide variety of people and a lot of jumping on points for people who are just starting to get in craft beer and kind of migrate away from the macro light lagers that dominated beer in this country for so long. And so we have Reef Donkey is a very pretty low bitterness, very refreshing, easy drinking, like citrus, like lemon and lime heavy pale ale.
Okay.
But we also have our True Blonde, which is a very easy drinking blonde, but still has those hop flavors that are really exciting and really differentiate craft beer from your standard macro beers that you'll find on the store shelves. But I think another part of it that's really important is the approachability of just the attitudes of everyone here when people come in to drink our beer. We want we always say we want to be casually serious. So
I love that.
We are very serious about the beer that we make, about it being the highest quality, having the best ingredients, being always consistent, and it's going to taste, Reef Donkey is going to taste the same every time you drink it. But we want to be casual in the way that we drink that beer. We don't want to be snobby about it. We don't want to turn people away because they haven't gotten into craft beer yet, or they're just trying, or maybe they don't know what any of this stuff is. We kind of see that as our job to teach people about what makes these beers cool, and why they should drink them, and answer any question they have, because we love beer and we want everyone to love beer.
Well, what I'm getting from this is these craft beers, and the way you're doing it here is that you're having a glass of beer an experience.
Yes.
You're in and of the moment, and you know how I love to say that, because I think people are really getting more back to that. They're nesting more with their families, and when they have parties, they want to make things different.
Oh, yeah.
And so what was really interesting was one of our producers here, Dylan, said, I was just coming across the parking lot, and he said, "You want some fresh beer?" I go, "What do you mean?" "Well, they just fresh off the press." So tell me about that. You do everything right here.
Yeah, so this is our production space. So we have a 10-barrel brew house in our Ybor location, and that is where we brew more. It's where we can experiment. We can figure out what new beers we want to try on a smaller scale, and then when something really hits and there's something that we like, we can make it on the production scale, which is a 3 times larger brew house. But that is our only production space anywhere. So any Reef Donkey you have throughout the state, or any canned beer that you have, it's going to be canned, it's going to be made, canned, and packaged right here in West Chase in Tampa. So it's something we're really proud of, and it's cool when you go sit on our patio to have a burger, have some wings or something, and some beers, of course. You can hear the canning line running right behind them. You can hear the metal music that our brewers like to listen to, and you get that brewery experience. I mean, you can smell the beer being brewed coming out of the brewery, which it smells amazing. It's like fresh oatmeal in the morning. Yeah, we've got some pretty awesome beers in front of us right now.
I love it. We're going to talk about those too. We have less than 5 minutes remaining.
Okay.
That's plenty of time. So if you wanted to open up now, this one here, the Space Donkey, is that what you were just talking about, or is that a little bit different?
So Space Donkey is a different take on our flagship beer, Reef Donkey. It has it's basically the same beer at the beginning, but we changed the hops that we put into it.
Okay.
And hops are something that we love. They add a ton of flavor and also bitterness to beer to balance out the sweetness from the malt and grains that go into it. So with this one, it has a ton of hop called Galaxy, which is going to have a lot of passion fruit and peach flavors that come through.
That sounds good.
From that. So we added a lot of Galaxy hops. That's why we call it Space Donkey.
Ah.
So that's part of our Donkey series. Right now we have 2 beers that we make every year, Cloudy Donkey and Space Donkey, that are kind of companions to Reef Donkey.
And so what's your favorite?
Right now, the beer I'm super excited about is Midnight Muffin right here. It is a imperial pastry sour that is just loaded with blueberries, vanilla, graham cracker, cinnamon, and milk sugar. It is 8% ABV, and it has a really nice tart character right on the front, but then it's really well balanced by here you go, you can try that.
Well, there's blueberries and cinnamon in it, so that's a nice little breakfast juice. What do you think?
And so if you smell it,
I can.
You get that graham cracker, that cinnamon.
Graham cracker.
Kind of comes off the top. And when you take that sip, you get that little sting of tart blueberry acidity right at the front. And then it's going to be balanced by those sweet vanilla and milk sugar flavors right at the end. It also has a nice thicker body than like a standard lager or something that you'd drink. But
this is tasty.
It's a really unique style that's kind of evolved. You can kind of track its progression through craft beer in the city of Tampa. And it's something that we really take pride in making and kind of pushing the envelope and see what we can do with it.
I am so impressed, truly, because it's been a couple of years since we've been here, and I know you've been a member of the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber for a while now, at least a couple of years. That's when you came on board, right?
Yeah, I came on January of 2020, so I had about 2 months of normal business operations, and then COVID happened, and we had to make a lot of unique and interesting changes to stay afloat. And
I was just going to say, were you able to stay afloat?
Oh yeah, we.
I figured that was a good answer.
We redesigned our website. We delivered a little bit. And we really pushed our cans to go because obviously people couldn't drink draft beer.
Sure.
So we really found some really cool brands and styles that people really were excited about, and we're excited to continue to make them.
Oh, you should be, and it's really a great place here. I mean, for entertaining, you have quite a good-sized patio outside with tables and chairs and umbrellas. And if you're like most of us, you want to get out and start getting back to what maybe you did before the last couple of years, what it looked like. And this is just a great way to do it. I know, being a member of the chamber, you guys are all one big happy family. You help one another. And I really have to give you big, huge kudos for being able to survive through the pandemic. And I mean, this is the way to go. And if you are a beer lover, if you want to take yourself to a higher level and really have the experience, you must come down here. Let everybody know how they can get a hold of you.
So definitely follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're at TBBCO on Instagram. So message us there. It's a really quick way. You'll reach me. And that'll be a good way to ask questions, ask if stuff is still available. But you can also go on our website, tbbc.beer, and you can sign up for our newsletter. You can see our new releases that are coming out. And then also just give us a call, come in, and talk to our staff, because everyone here likes to talk about beer. Everyone's really excited about it.
I can tell.
And we just want to spread that love with everybody.
Spreading the love.
Yeah.
Hey, what a way to close the show out. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Blueberries, cinnamon, and this is quite lovely. I want to thank you for joining us for My Chamber TV with Upper Tampa Bay Chamber. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Cheers again. I love this beer.